Good morning, class. In today's lecture, we are going to start a new chapter, chapter number 6, subsidiary books. We have already completed chapter 4, journal entry, chapter 5, accounting equation, and moving ahead with a new chapter, subsidiary books. This is the second step of recording accounts. First step is journalize the transaction, and second step is a subsidiary books. Dhruvik, please turn off mic. Next. So now, subsidiary book. In subsidiary book, in subsidiary books, there are several transactions, but we have to just identify such transaction, and there are four types of subsidiary books. We have to write down entries in such books. There are four types of subsidiary books. Number one, that is purchase book. Number two, sales book. Number three, purchase return. Number four, sales return. There are four types of subsidiary books: purchase book, sales book, purchase return, and sales return. But there are certain conditions to record subsidiary books. You have to remember this one. Number one, only credit transactions are recorded in the books. No entry for cash transaction. Only credit transactions are recorded in the books. No cash transactions are recorded. So, how we identify whether it is cash transaction or credit transaction? If the name of person is given, then it is credit transaction. Otherwise, it becomes a cash transaction. So, we have to read the transactions and check whether the name of the person is given or not. Okay. So, rule number one, only credit transactions are recorded in subsidiary books. Rule number two, if partial cash and partial credit transaction. Say for example, if one trader has sold the goods to us of rupees 10,000, we have paid 5,000 to him and remaining in credit. So out of 10,000, 5,000 is a cash transaction and 5,000 is a credit transaction. So in this case, the entire transactions is recorded as credit transaction. It means partial is cash transaction, partial is credit transaction. We have to assume the full transaction is a credit transaction. Rule number three, only goods are recorded in subsidiary books. Goods are recorded means if there is an asset purchase or sale, if there is any other investment purchase or sale, we have to ignore. Why we have to ignore? Because for special transactions, there is chapter number 8, that is special journal entry. Okay. So basically, there are three rules. Number one, only credit transactions are recorded here. Cash transactions are not recorded. Rule number two, if half is cash, half is credit, we have to assume entire transaction is credit transaction and record it. Rule number three, only purchase and sale of goods are recorded here. If any sale or purchase of assets given or investment given, ignore this. And one common rule that you all know, only economic transactions are recorded here. Economic transaction means in which money is included. If order is placed, business meeting taken, or goods received as free samples, these are the examples of non-economic transactions, and non-economic transactions are not recorded here. Okay? So this is the basic introduction of subsidiary books. Then after, okay, types of subsidiary books. I am just dealing with purchase book, sales book, purchase return, and sales return. Only these books are recorded in chapter number 6, because if there is a cash book, there is another chapter number 7. If there is subsidiary books for bills, it is in part 2, and general is chapter number 8. So in this chapter we have to just recording of 1, 2, 3, and 4. These four subsidiary books. Next, advantages of subsidiary books. So, what are the advantages by preparing subsidiary books, recording subsidiary books? Number one, division of work. Work is divided between different persons. It means if there is only one accountant in the business, then he is suffering so many problems. Recording the transactions, identify the transactions, prepare journal entry, prepare subsidiary books. Then after you study further, prepare trial balance, and then after balance sheet. So here work is divided by preparing subsidiary books. Second one, division of labor. Labor work is also divided. Why? How can it be advantage, it be benefit for us? Audit work becomes simple and prompt. What is audit work? So every business and every company, every organizations have to maintain books of accounts, and books of accounts are genuine or not. Such books are verified by a professional chartered accountant. You have uh, heard a word chartered accountant. Chartered accountant is a person who have completed their qualifications इन द इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ चार्टर्ड अकाउंट्स ऑफ इंडिया. हमारे यहाँ अहमदाबाद में भी एक ब्रांच है जहाँ पर जो लोग आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग 12 अगर आप सीए करना चाहते हो तो आप लोगों की यहाँ अहमदाबाद में अच्छी सी ब्रांच है. बहुत सारे अलग अलग प्रोफेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट है जो ये सब करवाते हैं. सो ऑडिट वर्क only it can be only done by a chartered accountant. So audit work becomes simple and prompt. Second, account preparing work becomes simple and prompt. Not only for chartered accountants, only for normal accountant, preparation of books becomes simple. Third, time is saved. If work becomes simple, if there is no complication, then our time will be saved. And analytical information is made available promptly. Analytical information means after completing financial statements, we have to prepare ratio analysis, cash analysis that is available instantly. Okay. Next, subsidiary books for goods. Here you can see types of goods: purchase book, sales book, purchase return, sales return. First of all, we are going with purchase book. In purchase book, there are two types of purchase book. Number one, simple purchase. Number two, columnar purchase. In columnar purchase, purchase of books with the types of goods, and in columnar purchase, another is goods and expense. So, simple purchase book is very easy, but in columnar purchase book, we have to identify whether it is on the basis of goods or on the basis of goods and expense. Okay. So first of all, you can see the format of simple purchase book. Specimen of simple purchase book. First of all, our heading is purchase books of Shri. Name of the business, name of the person we have to write here. Then there are five columns. Number one, date. Number two, name of supplier. Number three, inward invoice number. Fourth, LF number, and fifth, amount. This is very simple chapter, and in examination it can be of 4 to 5 marks. This is the very basic sum for purchase book and very simple chapter as I have said. First of all, date that you very well know in the chapter journal entry. We have to write down the date on which the transaction incurred. Second, name of supplier. In name of supplier, if there is a credit transaction, name of supplier is also there. Supplier means name of trader, name of creditor, name of purchaser, name of seller. We purchase the goods, then somebody has sell the goods to us, so name of the seller. Okay, name of supplier we have to write over here. Third one is invoice number. If we purchase the goods, in every bill there is a specific invoice number. If invoice number is given, we write over here, but if invoice number is not given, so we no need to write the invoice number. Next one, LF, ledger folio number. You all are know very well ledger folio number, already discussed earlier. We have to keep it as a blank. And last one is amount. Net amount. Net amount means after deducting all discounts and add any expense for doing this transaction. Any expense means if we have purchased the goods of 10,000, if there is a 10% trade discount, then amount of 9,000. Okay? And besides, expense paid by supplier on behalf of purchase are included, which are recorded in journal proper. If there is any discount, then we have to deduct the discount. Earlier, expense are added over here, but now for expense we recorded a separate book, that is journal proper. Journal proper is our chapter number 8. Sorry, perhaps it may be chapter 8 or 9, but we are going with this. So, first of all, illustration number 1, from the following transactions, prepare a purchase book in the books of Haresh Kumar. So, name of the owner is Haresh Kumar. We have to write down purchase books of Harish Kumar. We have to read one by one transactions and prepare four columns for purchase book, date, name of supplier, invoice number, LF number, and amount. First of all, 2015 March 1. 2015 March 1. Goods of 10,000 purchased from Mahesh on 1 month credit. We purchase the goods from Mahesh. Name of person is given, so it is a credit transaction. We have to record only credit transaction over here. So number one, name of the seller is Mahesh. We have purchased from Mahesh. So Mahesh account, and amount is 10,000. Here no invoice number is given, so invoice number is dash. Second, goods of 15,000 purchased from Hashmukh Bhai at 10% trade discount, invoice number is 50. Here name of person is given, so it is again credit transaction. We have to write down name of person Hashmukh Bhai account. Invoice number is given, so invoice number is 15. Now, amount of 15,000, we have to deduct 10% trade discount. 15,000 minus 10%, answer will be 13,500. Simple. Next, point number 6. Goods of 8,000 purchased from Manish for cash. Now tell me whether it is a cash transaction or credit.
Cash.
Yes. It is a cash transaction because word cash is used. So name of person will become irrelevant. Cash word is given, so it is a cash transaction and cash transactions are not recorded in purchase book. So transaction number 6 you cannot see over here because it is a cash transaction and cash transactions are not recorded. Next, place an order with Navin for supply of goods of 10,000 at 20% trade discount. Place an order. Only,
Non-economic transaction.
yes, Yash is correct. He has given a correct answer. Place an order. If we place an order, then it is non-economic transactions, and non-economic transactions are not recorded here. Point number 18. Furniture of 6,000 purchased from Shriji Furniture Mart on 1 month credit. Tell me whether it is recorded or not.
No, sir, because
Why?
it is at asset.
Yes. Correct answer means furniture is our asset. Asset is not recorded in the books. I have already said, as per rule number 2, only goods are recorded in purchase book. So, purchase of asset is not recorded here, irrespective whether it is a cash or credit. But assets are not recorded over here. Next, 20. Naveen supplied goods as per order. Place an order with Naveen. We have already placed an order, and as per the order, Naveen supplied goods to us. Place an order is non-economic transaction. We have not recorded number 14. But in number 20, as per the order, Naveen supplied goods to us. So you can see that here amount is not given. So it is not a mistake. But amount we have to carry it down from entry number 14. Goods of 10,000, 20% discount from 10,000. If we are deducting 20% discount, it becomes 8,000. So Naveen supplied the goods for 8,000. Okay. So I am reading transaction number 20. Naveen supplied goods as per order and sent his invoice number 314 after adding railway freight of rupees 1200. Here, name of person is given, so it is a credit transaction, and that's why Naveen account in entry number 2. Amount of 8,000 and invoice number 314. Here, I have already said expenses, earlier expenses are added in this. If you have old book, you can see that expense of rupees 1200 are added here. So it is given 9200. But as per old concept, it is correct. But as per new book and as per new concept, this 1200 means any expense are not added over here. For expense, we have prepared a separate journal proper in separate chapter. So ignore this expense. Okay. Next one, 23. Goods of 4,000 purchase at 5% cash discount. Now tell me whether it is cash or credit transaction.
Cash transaction.
Yash, Mikesha, it is a cash credit transactions because here name of person is not given. So ignore this. 25. Goods of 16,000 purchased from Babulal at 10% trade discount and paid half the amount immediately by check. Here, half payment is done by check. And half payment, there is no information for half payment. So we are assuming that half payment is still pending. So half is cash transaction, half is credit transaction. So we are assuming that full transaction is a credit transaction. So we have to record this entry number 25. Once again, here there is a half cash transaction, half credit transaction. So we are assuming that full transaction is a credit transaction and record credit transaction over here. So entry number 25, purchase from Babulal account, and 16,000, amount is 16,000, discount is 10%. Out of 16,000, discount is 10% that we are deducting from 16,000. So net answer is 14,400. Okay. Now half payment is made by check, half payment is pending. It is irrelevant because half is cash, half is credit. We are assuming full transaction is credit. So full transaction as a credit transaction 14,400 is recorded here. Next, 28. Goods of 6,000 purchased from Lalit at 10% trade discount and 5% cash discount. Amount of bill paid immediately. Now tell me whether,
सर इसके एंट्री नहीं होगी बिकॉज अमाउंट इज पेड इमीडिएटली.
yes, Ravi, your answer is correct. Amount paid immediately means it is a cash transaction. It is not recorded. And last, goods of 3,000 purchased from Rajesh. Name of person is given. It is credit transaction. So we have to write down entry number 30, Rajesh account, and amount is 3,000. There is no discount is given. So gross amount 3,000 is write down here. Bill number is 10. If bill number is given, we have to write down bill number. If it is not given, dash. So now total of these is 48,900. Total of these is 48,900. So this sum is over. It is very simple chapter as I have said, and we have done illustration number 1. Next one. Now we are moving ahead for columnar purchase book, and in columnar purchase book, as per the according to the types of goods, here there are various columns you can see. It is a specimen of columnar purchase books according to types of goods. Date, name of supplier, invoice number, ledger folio number, in amount. If there is a separate goods, then for each goods there is individual column: TV, refrigerator, floor mill, and tool. So we have to identify why we have to prepare a columnar purchase list. If any one businessman has doing his business, but he is selling more than one goods, more than one items, like he is selling TV, he is selling refrigerator, he is selling floor wheel, means we can say that he is selling electronic items. Business is on electronic items. So TV, refrigerator and floor. If there are, first of all, we have to read every transaction and we have to identify that what kind of goods that he is purchasing or selling. So as per the transaction, we have to prepare different columns, or it can also given in the question, at the top of the question they have write down that prepare these columns for goods. So we are preparing columns for individual items, and this column is not fixed that every time there is only 3 columns. It can be 2, it can be 4, it can be 5. Okay, and last column is total. Finally, we have to do a total of these, and it is a total. Okay, so in next class we are discussing with columnar purchase books according to types of goods in illustration 2. So thank you so much. We are going further in the next class.